My name is Mikkel Myrup, and I'm with the environmental organization called Avadag. Avadag is a Greenlandic expression, and it means a hunting bladder, which is a part of the old hunting equipment of the kayaks.
Tell me now what your concerns are about Greenland's embrace of the oil industry.
We are worried about if the rules we have regarding oil exploration and oil drilling are sufficient as it is today. We don't think they are, even though that government officials and politicians assure us of that.
Your minister says he's using the Norwegian rules. What confidence does that give you?
Well, we know that the Norwegians have some of the most strict rules in the world, but as far as we know, there's no direct cooperation between Greenland and Norway in how should you put it? In how to carry out those rules. There is no direct cooperation. It's mostly words, and that's what worries us.
And why do you think that is?
Because it's oil exploration is a huge industry, and it requires a lot of experienced personnel, and we don't have that in Greenland.
Why do you think your government hasn't entered into a partnership with Norway?
I think that the Greenlandic situation is that we are in dire need of money. Our economy is not very good, and society's income is rather poor. So I think politicians are in a real hurry to find new income sources, and that's environmental concerns are not very popular when you are looking for incomes.
So what can you do about that?
Well, we, as an organization, we just try to try and get some focus on that issue, and hope that the general public will share our concern and voice that concern to the politicians.
So are we talking about if an oil industry for this country, or when the oil industry is happening?
Well, that depends on the outcome of the exploration drilling, but if the companies find oil and they find that it is feasible to get that oil out of the ground, I know that it will be extremely hard for the political system not to grab that chance for the income it generates.
So what's your greatest fear?
Of course, it's how this huge industry can affect the environment. There's the risk of major oil spills in the Arctic that will affect the ecology of the region, and then there's the democratic aspect of it, because when huge companies, multinational companies, enter a small country like Greenland, they will have a huge effect on the whole of society, and that's the two main worries we have, I think.
I was told by one member of government that when Greenpeace comes here, they're not going to be able to get fuel for their boats. There seems to be a real backlash against environmental groups. Can you talk about that and how that's affecting your work?
Yeah, environmental groups have had a bad name in Greenland, especially after the Greenpeace campaigns against sealing in the 80s. And that's has made it hard for Greenlandic environmental groups to get a voice in Greenlandic society. But more and more Greenlanders are opening their eyes about the problems, the environmental problems that will follow the industrialization of Greenland. So I think that there's an awareness of these problems that is getting stronger in Greenlandic societies. But still, skepticism against large international NGOs like Greenpeace, for example.
If you could speak directly to your government and ask them, or advise them, or caution them, what would you like to say?
I would like to say to them that that they shouldn't be in such a hurry, and they should slow down a bit and make sure that we have all the legislation in place, and that we have all the rules so that that we can secure the environment in Greenland for not just for us, but for our children and the coming generations.
I've only seen milk. Can you tell me what you have seen of this country that has turned you into an environmentalist? Describe this place and its beauty best you can.
Well, it's of course it's being a Greenlander. I would hate to see some of this great nature getting destroyed by environmental catastrophe, and the people who live up here are very much dependent on the ocean and the marine mammals. It's an integrated part of their daily life. So if something should happen that would prohibit them to their traditional use of the ocean, it would be a major impact in their daily lives. So that's our biggest fear, that these industries that many people see as some kind of savior for the Greenlandic economy will have a negative impact on the environment. And